All right, today I'm going to talk about, well, before I tell you what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to tell you how I arrived at this video or doing this video. There's a channel called Storytime Slots, and he did a video on him going to the casino with a friend and it not turning out too well. Now, I may do a separate video on how maybe that should have been handled better. Not that he did anything wrong. You go out check his video check that video out on Storytime Slots, and it's very interesting. He tells real good stories, but check that story out. But I'm going to tell you there are 4 main things you need to do. Now, there's a lot other ones you can do, but there's 4 main things you need to do if you're going to go to the casino with somebody, especially if you've never been with them before, first time to this casino with somebody. So we're going to start off. The first thing you should do is understand that person and before you make the plan saying, hey, let's go to the casino, or I'm going to come by and pick you up, let's go to the casino. The first thing you do is find out about that person. And the reason why I say that, I always draw this parallel to when you're dealing and you partner up with people, especially in the casino. It's like 2 people playing tennis. It is no fun if they're not playing on the same level. If you got a person that's a great tennis player and one that really sucks, none of them are going to have fun, because you're not going to have a long volley back and forth. You're not going to have that, because the one that's good is just going to destroy the other person. And that person that's not any good is never going to be able to handle any of those people, that person's serves. So just like the tennis, you need to be somebody that thinks the same way you do when you go to that casino. So find out about that person, and if you make that choice, and go over a few things, and you can feel, once you do make the decision, hey, we may go, plan what you're going to do, make sure you're on the same page, okay? The second thing I would say is, if you're the person that has the most control in the casino, meaning you don't really allow the casino to control you, make sure you're the one that drives. Make sure you're the one that drives. Now, if it's some local casino that's different, that you can get an Uber or a Lyft or taxi, whatever, or you can call someone because it's local, you have a friend or somebody that can come get you. But if you're going away a few hours and you're dependent on that ride, if you know that person doesn't have that same mindset that can control themselves, make sure you drive. There's nothing worse than being in a casino and you're with a person that's down a few $1,000s or so, and it's like a few hours, a few minutes before you're ready to leave, and they're like, I'm going to get this money back, and they want to continue to keep doing and going, and you're stuck because you don't have no ride. Where if you were the driver, you could say, I'm going to give you 15 minutes, and we got to go, okay? So that's the second thing. If you're the same person, make sure you drive. The other thing is to plan a particular time. Do not go to the casino with somebody else and say, I will go to the casino when we feel like leaving. Really, don't do that. Make a set time, because you can always adjust that later. But make a set time, because there's a few things that helps you when you do that. It kind of helps you manage your bankroll a little bit better. Because let's say you say, we're going to be here for 4 hours. And you're working and you're going back and forth. And let's say you turn your $500 bankroll to $900. You're up $400. And there's only like 45 minutes left to go, and you're going to be at that 4-hour mark. Now you can say, I can nurse this a little bit to make sure I take some of this 400 with me. You know, so, and if you start doing real bad at the beginning, he's like, oh, okay, I got to slow down a little bit because I still have 3 more hours to go. So it helps you figure out your bankroll and helps you manage it a lot better. But there's other reasons that it can be, but that's one of the things. Make sure you plan a time that you leave. And the last thing is, if you plan a time and something happens that you may have to extend it, make sure you understand, you get that understanding with that person. I think everybody understands if it's like 2 more minutes and it's time to leave, it's going to be that 4-hour mark and it's time to leave, and you hit a hand pay, and they got to come and verify the hand pay. They got to go and get the paperwork and do all that. It's going to take 10 or 15 minutes. Sometimes I've had hand pays that took almost 30, 40 minutes to get because it was so busy. So it might take some time. So that they'll understand probably. But if you're a person that says, I'm down a little bit, I've been coming back and I feel like I'm on a hot streak, then you may adjust it. And that's one of those things where you say, okay, I'm going to give you 30 minutes. Maybe like if you're playing on a table game, maybe give them 30-minute increments. Okay, in 30 minutes, I'm going to come back. 30 minutes. And now if they're playing a slot, maybe give them 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes you come back. You readjust that. So always have that understanding. Because some people feel, hey, I'm hot, we can't leave. But you have to have that understanding, whether you're hot or not. The only little bonus time I'm going to give you another 30 minutes, and then we have to leave. And if you're the driver, he's got a choice to make. So those are the 4 things. There are 4 things that you have to consider when you're going to the casino with somebody for the first time. So just to go over those, the first one is understand that person before you make plans to go. The next thing to do is, if you're the same person, you be the driver. The third thing to do, set a time that you're going to be there. And the fourth thing is, if we get to that time and there's a situation where one of you feeling a little hot or you're waiting for something to happen, and and you make clear what will we do in that case? How longer will we stay? So those are the 4 things you need to do the first time you're going to the casino with someone you've never been to with. So that's that information I'd like to give you, from the parking lot to the nearest slot. Always, like I tell you, you're welcome to use it.